This is Ben and Jen's podcast, episode 14. Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. And hey, for all of you joining us, whether you're listening right now or maybe watching, definitely stick with us till the very end. Today, we're not just going to, rattle off product details. We're really diving into the honest, real-world reviews from actual buyers. Our goal here is to help you make smart choices, especially when it comes down to something as, essential as your phone charger. So today, we're tackling this fascinating set of sources all about a device many of us rely on daily, but maybe don't think too much about. The 45W Samsung Super Fast Phone Charger, USB-C Fast Charger Samsung fast charging cord, Samsung Galaxy S25, S24 Ultra Charge 10FT Type-C charging cable. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful. Our mission: to unpack this thing, understand the tech that supposedly makes it super fast, and critically distill what thousands of buyers are really saying. You've sent us loads of info product descriptions, detailed customer stories, even some tech comparisons, and we're here to give you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Exactly. And it's not just about this charger, right? It's about understanding modern charging tech in general. What should you actually look for? And crucially, how do those advertised claims stack up against what people find when they actually use it day to day? We'll pull it all together for you.
Okay, let's get into it. That name, 45W Samsung Super Fast. Let's start with the 45W part. What does that really mean for how fast my phone charges? What's the tech behind it?
Right. So the 45 watts, it's not just about the raw number. The key thing is the technology underneath, which is power delivery, or PD. Think of PD as like an intelligent negotiation. Instead of just one fixed power level, the charger and your phone talk, they figure out the best power flow, safely adjusting voltage and current for what the device needs right then.
Ah, okay. So it's smarter charging, not just faster.
Precisely. That's why the source claims it can juice up compatible Samsung phones, like the S25 Ultra or S24, from 0 to 50% in just 20 minutes. It's incredibly efficient compared to, say, older 15W or even the 25W chargers. It's a pretty big leap.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. 50% in 20 minutes. That's genuinely impressive, especially if you're rushing out the door. What else makes this specific product package interesting beyond just that speed?
Well, what's really interesting here is that this isn't just one charger. It's actually a two-pack. So you get two of the 45W USB-C blocks, and you get two really long 10-foot Type-C to Type-C cables.
10 feet? That is long.
Yeah. And users often really value that length, plus having two chargers. It gives you loads of flexibility, right? One for the office, one at home, maybe one for the bedside table. And the cables aren't just power either. They handle data, too, up to 480 megabits per second.
Two chargers. Those super long cables.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds practical. How does it stack up in terms of cost and popularity? Is it a good value?
Well, right now it's listed at $22.39. Apparently it was $27.99, so that's a 20% saving. And it has a solid rating, 4.5 out of 5 stars from over, get this, 8,300 ratings.
Wow, that many.
Yeah, and they've sold over 7,000 of them just in the past month. So clearly it has strong market appeal. People are buying it. It's sold by a company called EcoDay, but the brand name on the product is Vilive.
Okay, 7,000 sold in a month. That really says something. Now, the name screams Samsung, but is it only for the latest Samsung phones, or can you use it with other devices?
No, not at all. And that's a big plus. It's versatility. The source is clear. It works with a whole range of Samsung Galaxy devices. We're talking the latest S25, S24, S23 series, but also older ones like the S8 and S9, plus the Z Fold, the Flip series, various Note models. It's quite broad.
And I think I saw Google Pixel mentioned in the source material as well.
That's right. It's also listed as compatible with several Google Pixels, from the older Pixel XL up to the Pixel 6 Pro, even some Pixel tablets and Chromebooks. So, yeah, that broad compatibility is a key feature. And it specifically mentions the PPS protocol, which helps optimize that 45W charging for certain phones like the S20 or S21.
Right. You mentioned PPS. Okay, let's pause there for a sec. For those of us who like the tech details, what exactly is PPS? Why is it important for getting the most out of that 45 watts, especially on maybe slightly older phones?
That's a great question. PPS stands for Programmable Power Supply. It's a more advanced part of the USB power delivery standard. Basically, instead of the charger just offering a few fixed voltage steps, PPS allows it to adjust voltage and current in tiny, tiny increments, almost continuously.
Okay.
So it can really fine-tune the power delivery to exactly what the phone's battery needs at that specific moment. This minimizes wasted energy, reduces heat, which is better for battery health, and maximizes efficiency. That's how it ensures phones that support PPS, like those S20s or Note 20s, really get the fastest possible charge from a 45W adapter.
Got it. So it's like a super optimized dynamic conversation between the charger and the phone. Makes sense. Now, beyond just speed and compatibility, you're plugging this into maybe a very expensive phone. Safety has to be a major consideration. What do the sources say about built-in protections?
Yeah, that's crucial, isn't it? You don't want to risk your device. The product description does highlight multiple safeguards. It mentions protection against common electrical issues, short circuits, overcurrent, overvoltage, overheating, and also overcharging.
Okay, the usual suspects.
Right. And importantly, it says it automatically stops charging when the battery hits 100%. That's not just about preventing immediate damage. It's really designed to help with long-term battery health, Gives you peace of mind, especially if you charge overnight.
Absolutely. Okay, now for the really juicy part. What are the actual users saying? Thousands of them. The source gave us an AI summary of reviews, which is handy. What are the main takeaways from that?
Yeah, the AI summary is interesting. It shows customers are largely very positive about the charging speed. They use terms like super fast, very useful. And that 10-foot cord length, that comes up again and again as a major positive. Extra convenience is the phrase used.
I can see that. 10 feet is a lot of freedom.
Definitely. Users also generally seem to feel it's well-made, durable, and offers good value for money. Even smaller things get mentioned, like the color options. Apparently the pink is popular, and the fact that it supposedly lights up blue when charging. Little aesthetic touches.
Huh, interesting. Sounds overwhelmingly positive then. But, reviews are rarely unanimous. Are there any points where feedback is more mixed or even critical?
Yes, and that's where you often find the important nuances. While most feedback is good, a couple of areas show mixed opinions. One is the physical size of the charging adapter itself, the brick. Some people say it's great, no problem. Others find it larger than it needed to be, or mention it doesn't fit in all the way in some crowded power strips or outlets.
Ah, okay, so maybe a bit chunky for some situations.
Potentially. And maybe more significantly, the cord quality gets mixed reviews too.
Right.
Several customers specifically point out it's not a Samsung product, meaning it's a third-party cable. And because of that, some express concerns about its long-term durability compared to maybe an official Samsung cable. It highlights that potential trade-off, third-party price versus perceived OEM quality.
That's a really important distinction, the charger block versus the cable itself. Okay, let's look at a few specific voices. Tim Lagretta, July 25th, 2025, gave it 5 stars, called it Mom's favorite charger, loved the color, speed, connection, length, quality, pretty glowing. Then JM on July 9th, also 5 stars, said it felt premium, thick, durable, and solid value for money.
Good.
And Cassie Sullivan just flat out said, best charger I've ever owned. Pretty strong endorsements there.
Definitely strong. But as you said, it's important to see the whole picture. Joshua, for instance, gave it 4 stars back in June. He said it works well and is quick, but he also noted the charging brick is light but feels larger than it needed to be, so echoing that size comment. And then there's a really notable one. Santiago Aguirre Arcos from Mexico gave it just 1 star in November 2024. He reported an inconsistent connection. His words were, "Conexión no constante." Said it would connect and disconnect every 15 seconds or so with both his Galaxy S24 and a Tab S9.
Oof, that sounds unusable.
Exactly. And while it seems like an outlier compared to the thousands of positive reviews, it's critical feedback. It shows that for whatever reason, maybe a faulty unit, maybe a specific device incompatibility, in his case, things can go wrong. No product works perfectly for absolutely everyone.
That's a very fair point. A good reminder to read a range of reviews, not just the top one.
Okay, this leads nicely into comparison. How does this specific Villa 45W charger actually stack up against other options? Maybe even other chargers from Villive or Samsung with different specs? Yeah, the source included a helpful comparison table. So this 45W charger we're focused on, it claims that 0-50% in 20 minutes and explicitly supports super fast charging 2.0. Now, compare that to, say, a 25W Samsung charger mentioned in the comparison, which also came with a 10-foot cable. That one is listed as taking 30 minutes to reach 60% charge.
Okay, so slower, even if the percentages aren't directly comparable.
Right. And significantly, the 25W model only supports super fast charging notice without the 2.0. This suggests the 45W standard is indeed a step up in speed tech.
Gotcha. So the 45W really does seem to offer a tangible speed boost. What about the cables across these different options? Are they all pretty similar in terms of data speed?
Yes, interestingly, that seems consistent. All the comparative models mentioned, whether they were 25W or 45W, and regardless of the cable length offered, they all listed the same data transfer speed, 480 AE-APPs. That's standard USB 2.0 speed.
Okay, so not super fast for data, just for charging.
This exactly. It tells you the main selling point. And the reason for maybe a slightly higher price on the 45W model is purely about getting power into your device faster, not about transferring files faster. It's fine for syncing, but not for moving huge files quickly.
That clarifies the focus of this product really well. Right. What a fascinating look at something seemingly so basic, huh? So we've seen this 45W charger from Voliv offers, genuinely impressive speed, pretty broad compatibility, and that handy 2-pack with the extra long cables is a real bonus. Generally gets high marks for performance and value.
Absolutely. The feedback is mostly very positive, especially on speed and those long cables people seem to love. But it's definitely worth keeping in mind those mixed notes on the charger's physical bulkiness and, perhaps more importantly, the questions some users have about the long-term quality of the non-Samsung cable. And of course, that one-star review about connection issues is a potent reminder that, things aren't always perfect for every single user or device.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you, our listener, maybe watching this? If you're hunting for a genuinely fast charge for your Samsung, or maybe even your Pixel, and you like the idea of getting 2 chargers and those really long cords, well, this 45W Voliv option looks like a pretty strong contender based on everything we've seen. But you probably should weigh that feedback on the brick size and the third-party cable quality against what matters most to you.
Which really brings up the final question for you to think about. How much does that top-tier charging speed really matter in your daily life? Is shaving off those extra minutes worth it? And are you comfortable with the potential trade-offs, like maybe a slightly bulkier charger or a cable that might not feel quite as premium as an official one in exchange for the overall package of speed, convenience, and price?
That's a great thought to chew on as you figure out the best charging setup for your own digital life. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. Thanks for listening to Ben and Jen's podcasts, where we help you make smart choices, one product review at a time. See you next time.